as it turns out, I did hit the minus button by accident, which switched the 3D renderer for some reason. Seriously, why is there a hotkey on this emulator to change the 3D renderer? Why? Why is it so? Why was it needed? It's even close to the pause button on my keyboard. So this is really the worst spot for a hotkey that you could think of. So yeah, I picked the right 3D renderer this time, which is why the whole thing is a bit darker and a bit more faithful to what you would get on an actual DS than last time. Now, you want to get up these stairs and run into this ghost once again. In the dark dream, I heard my dad's voice. Forget about the Lunar Wing. Fuck no! Lunar Wing equals legendary Pokémon. So excuse me if I just waltz in there and grab the Lunar Wing. Of course, it doesn't seem like a wise decision to defy what a ghost wants, but I feel like I want to take the chance, because Cresselia, well, it's freaking Cresselia. Anyway, we're going to learn something interesting here. This ghost is the same ghost that sometimes appears on the Marvelous Bridge in Black and White 1, and that was because she wanted to return the Lunar Wing to Cresselia when it showed back up there, and she never managed to do so, and instead the Lunar Wing somehow came back here, even though she just said she can't touch it. Nintendo logic! I have nothing more to say on the matter, so it's up to us to go to the Marvelous Bridge and give the Lunar Wing back to Cresselia, which will trigger a battle. Fortunately, Cresselia is not a runner in this game, so it's pretty easy to catch. But unfortunately, the Marvelous Bridge is once again a post-game area, so we can't do anything about that quite yet. Now, I just want to come back to something that I said in part 57, something really stupid that I said about there being 3 grass types in the overused tier. For some stupid reason, I managed to forget Ferrothorn, the most important one. How did I do that? I honestly have no idea. I know that when I was doing my research, I skimmed over the list of overused Pokemon just to be sure I wasn't missing anything, and somehow I skimmed over Ferrothorn a little bit too hard. So, yeah, I admit that was pretty stupid of me. In fact, really stupid. On a scale of 1 to Miley Cyrus, this would have to be pretty much everything labeled the truth about 9/11. But, seriously, I don't know how much Ferrothorn would benefit from that kind of immunity. I mean, it could switch in for free on Sleep Powder or Spore, and then what? Lay a layer of hazard? Sure, that's always an option with Ferrothorn. But is it really going to be really that much of a big difference maker? I don't really think so, though of course I could be entirely wrong and it turns out to be metagame changing just because Ferrothorn gets to lay down an extra layer of hazards. Which is of course always good. I mean, Smogon even made a ladder without Stealth Rock. That's how influential the move is, if you can believe that. So, I'm almost done with the Strange House. I'm just exploring these little side rooms that you can't access until you reach this point in the side quest where you got the Lunar Wing and all. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish this off. It's not a very large dungeon by any means. In fact, I wouldn't even really call it a dungeon. It's just like a house that's slightly bigger than normal with a few more rooms. In fact, it's more realistically sized than just about every house in every Pokemon game, come to think of it. So, heading up here... Is there a trainer in there, or is there an item? Oh, there's an item over there, which is a rare candy! Nice! So, it's always a good idea to come here if you want a rare candy, even if you don't really need it. Rare candies, as their name implies, are pretty rare, even though you can now buy similar effects at the Join Avenue. not really much of a problem. Lilligant is just about to hit level 46, so even though we're heading into a volcano dungeon, I'm going to keep it in the lead, because it would be really, really great if I could get Petal Dance on that thing as soon as possible. Oh, by the way, do you want to see the most bullshit secret ever in a Pokemon game? Yeah! Shadow Ball TM located right here. It's not even an invisible item to boot, so it doesn't make the dowsing machine ping. The fact that it's visible actually plays against you for that reason, but yeah, it's hidden there, and it's a very good TM to boot. It's not like it's a complete piece of crap. It's freaking Shadow Ball, pretty much the best ghost move there is, so it's the fact that it's that easy to miss on top of that, though I guess it fits Shadow Ball, you know, to be hidden like that. Anyway, I'm just healing my Pokemon real quick, even though I don't really need to, because I'm going to be getting as much healing as I want in just a moment. First, let's head into Reversal Mountain, which is a dungeon where the appearance radically changes depending on your version. In White 2, it's going to be, well, it's supposed to be a volcano, and it does look the part. Thanks for the free yellow shard, by the way, dungeon, right at the entrance on top of that. Talk about being generous. But yeah, it really looks like a volcano, whereas in Black 2, it's more of, maybe it's extinct or something, but there's water all over the place, so it's really not the kind of place that Heatran would want to chill out at, but it does in both White 2 and Black 2, so I guess in Black 2 it completely disregards natural selection or anything like that. So, yeah, if you've played Black 2 before but never White 2, then this is going to be kind of a new experience, cosmetically speaking. And by the way, the items and the trainers are also in different locations in both versions. Anyway, we finally caught up with Bianca, who said she wanted to investigate this place. However, it doesn't seem to be going as well as she wanted because, yeah, the wild Pokemon here are tough and she's having trouble with them. Which is kind of weird considering that, well, I'm going to come back to that train of thought, but first, I just want to mention that we are indeed going to be tagging along, and I'm going to be getting infinite healing, motherfucker, throughout this entire place. So, there are a few pieces of dialogue that Bianca can give you when you talk to her, so I'm just going to go through these real quick. But yeah, it's kind of a weird thing to say for Bianca that she's having trouble with the Pokemon in the place, considering that, as we're going to find out soon, she is way more competent than any of the stat trainers that followed us around in the Sinnoh games, or Hugh back at the beginning of the game, even though I ditched him almost instantly. Bianca, simply put, is amazing to have as a partner. And I'm going to show you why in just a moment. Are we done yet with her dialogue? Yep. So we can now move on deeper into Reversal Mountain. I'm going to head over there first. Good guess, there was a dead end with an item. But yeah, Bianca, her Pokemon, she has three of them. Musharna, Stoutland, and also Mienfoo. Now, Musharna is her ace on her team, and it is way better than you'd expect a Musharna to be in any sort of context, because, well, of course you have the infinite healing that really helps, but if anything is still alive at the end of the first turn, it's probably going to kill it dead, because remember, Musharna is extremely bulky, hits very hard, it's just slow as fuck, which really doesn't matter in this context. And I got Petal Dance, so I'm going to get rid of Energy Ball. Thank you very much, you've been useful for the time you were with me, but Petal Dance is, for all intents and purposes, Lilligant's bread and butter. In-game, at least, I know it's a whole different situation competitively, but still. So yeah, once again, you get infinite healing after every single battle, and that Musharna is way more useful than any partner we've had in the Sinnoh games. Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Look at how awesome this looks. Of course, I'm probably gonna win easily, but still, 2 Excadrills side by side, that's enough to strike fear into the hearts of anyone. So fortunately, Petal Dance has enough juice to get rid of one of them. Will Musharna be able to kill the other, though? Rock Slide will only hit Musharna, but Energy Ball should take down this Excadrill, hopefully. Nope, not even close. Well, of course, it doesn't really have stab on it, and its level isn't, the Musharna's level isn't as high as my Lilligant, so I guess it sort of goes without saying. But still, I guess 2 battles are not quite enough to show you just why Bianca is so good, but she's just amazing. In 2 years, she's gone from incompetent klutz to walking death machine, and I, for one, couldn't be happier. Anyway, we got a triple battle here, and since Bianca isn't taking part, she is not going to heal me after this battle, and since Volcarona could potentially take a Rock Slide to the face, I'm going to focus fire as much as I can on Girder to make sure it's dead before its turn comes and it obliterates Volcarona. The problem with Volcarona in this dungeon is that, well, as we just saw, there are Boldors in this place, and even with infinite healing, they will gladly kill Volcarona over and over and over. But there's not much of a need to worry, because Volcarona is going to have more leveling up opportunities fairly soon, so no worries, it's going to get a lot of chances to play catch-up before we reach Drayden. There was one thing that I really wanted to get a word in about today, and it's that Sableye event that's going to be taking place in Japan. It has Prankster, of course, because they know that Sableye is worthless without Prankster, but it has 2 brand new moves, which are Octazooka and Tickle. Now, of course, as you might imagine, Octazooka on anything is, well, lol. Especially something as weak offensively as Sableye. Tickle, well, I guess if you're going to be using Tickle, you might as well use it with priority, but still, this just so happens to be a game where debuffs suck. Unless it's Intimidate, just GTFO, I don't want anything to do with debuffs. And in fact, speaking of Intimidate, I wonder why they still haven't done any counterparts with other stats, though knowing then they would just give a defense-lowering ability to special sweepers and vice versa. But I guess I just wanted to mention that Tickle is now part of Sableye's arsenal, if it tickles your fancy. So we're just going to grab this hidden item here, which is an elixir, and call it a day. So next time we're going to head deeper into Reversal Mountain. Damn it, game designers! You're making my job way too easy. You're not even trying to hide it anymore, are you? That is, if you were ever trying to hide it to begin with.